Get ready for a very special video that kind of chronicles the demolition of the Ohio National Guard Armory in Bowling Green, Ohio, and due largely to the efforts of the commercial club. The city became the site of the Ohio National Guard Armory in 1914. Of course, it was demolished in 2013, and that meant it was 99 years old at the time of demolition. The building was utilized for the first Bowling Green State normal college classes while campus was under construction. The school's library was located across the street from the Armory in the basement of the Methodist Church. That April morning in 2013, it was just a luck, just a chance. I'd always wanted to film this building on Worcester Street, and just really was intrigued by the architecture and how large it was on the corner. And that morning I decided to just grab the camera and go out. Sometimes that's how you do it. You know, you feel like you want to capture a certain location, and when the time is right. And this morning on April 17th, 2013 just felt like it. Really nice morning, pretty still. Early in the morning, around 9:30, before I had to get to class. Taking a walk around the building, there's a garage right there. They housed vehicles, I believe, some of the armored trucks for a period of time, and also like a storage shed. And it had been sitting a long time. There was some vandalism. The windows were damaged around the building. And in fact, just about a week prior to this video being filmed, somebody took a fire extinguisher and basically smashed in, as you see the door I'm walking by right here, the window next to the door with a fire extinguisher. So it was clearly just getting vandalized at this moment. People weren't really sure that it was going to be demolished yet or what was happening with it. But there were some issues kind of going along to the structure of the building. They had workmen and crews coming out for a few weeks. You can kind of see some, heavy machinery, trucks being moved in. They were doing some surveying on the location. But here's where I'm looking in for the first time, because there's workmen here on the site that morning and doing some work inside around the front of the building as well. And I'm facing west, walking down the sidewalk along Worcester. There's a sign that was put up that the new CVS pharmacy was soon gonna be in construction. It's one of those things where you really want to see the inside of the building, and it's intriguing, and it's just kind of pulling you in, but you're not sure really how to go about it. And I spent a little bit of time walking around outside the building. Once I saw the door was open, trying to figure out how I should go about asking the guys who were working inside if I would be allowed to go in. And as you're going to see here in the next few seconds, lo and behold, I was allowed to go in. And what the guy said to me was, "Can't tell you yes and you can't tell you no, so why don't you just go on in?" And these guys were just very, very awesome to let me do this, because it's likely the last time anybody went into the building with a camera and was actually able to document what was inside and save it forever. Without my doing this video, I don't believe that anyone would have had photos of the interior just days before the demolition started. And the demolition started about a month after this video was shot in May of 2013. And then for the next year or so, until mid-2014, they were building the new CVS pharmacy on the site. I finally got into the building, and it's just an amazing presence. You can feel like the musty air and the old brick paint and the wood, just kind of that's been sitting a while. But still, there's those elements that are intact. You got some of the drawings and murals on the wall. The ceiling's in relatively good shape, but they're making sure it's secure. They're making sure there's no active gas or electricity or plumbing still going on. And they you see their flashlights to the right. They're behind me at this point. doing a little bit of talking. They told me don't stray away too far, and I'm like, yes, sir. I'm not gonna, do anything crazy or anything. Obviously, they don't know who I am. That I've done this, a lot, before, and of course I'm gonna respect the building. I'm gonna be safe about it. But when I saw the gymnasium here, to be able to capture that just in this state of just being quiet and as Dean says, stilled, it's really true. Just nobody's in there, and just me and the camera, and being able to capture that for everybody to see is what it's all about. Preserving the place that just a month later it wasn't going to be standing anymore. There's an article in the Sentinel Tribune, which is Bowling Green's local city paper, published on May 17th, actually the same day I returned to this location, actually the day after, May 17th, 2013, where the demolition was continuing. And the construction was done under the direction of DZI Construction Services and Sons Excavation in preparation for the construction of a CVS pharmacy. They also were knocking down the Hanneman Funeral Home right next door to the Armory. Very large project. To be able to get in the basement was unbelievable. A lot of old remains, some really cool things to see, and it was amazing just to have the opportunity. And I may have said amazing way too many times now, and you're getting sick of hearing me say it, but I'm so lucky. I'm so glad to have been able to have the opportunity and the chance to just see inside of this building, and just for a few seconds. As soon as the guys walked by near the end and said, it's time for you to leave, they just said, time for you to leave. I'm like, yes, sir. I'm, going to get right out, because obviously I just, jumped at the chance to be able to see what remains of this amazing location. And I'm talking a lot here. There's a map on the floor because I actually muted all the audio on this because it's pretty much just pretty much quiet anyway. A little bit of, creaking floorboards and glass breaking underfoot, but so I'm going to try to keep talking. I may be quiet for a second. The sign says property in this room belongs to the Ohio Military Reserve. And in this room, there's actually a lot of boxes of clothing, which is very interesting to see. So in June 2013, again, it took about a year for them to finish the construction of the CVS pharmacy, and the BG newspaper wrote an article saying that after approximately 10 years, this has been in the works. The building actually was bought for $150,000, which was pretty low in terms of the bidding, what they thought it was going to be in that corner. That 10 years from the time of that original conversation about what was going to happen with the old Armory, that was just too costly to maintain. It was just falling into deep disrepair. The city was in the process of building a new CVS, and they will have soon a new pharmacy in town, claims the paper. And the Armory was built in 1914, and early classes from the university used to take place there. The pharmacy was expected to open in November. I believe it was delayed. I think it was open in early 2014. If memory serves me right, it all happened so fast. Here, enjoy some still photos. This is from April 13th, the first time I saw the building, all the way until the 17th of May, when they began the demolition of it. So, in terms of the Hanneman Funeral Home, which was right next door, the early bidders for the property was actually Craig Hanneman for this property here with the Armory on it, and he placed a bid of $150,000, and CVS finally purchased the property for $1.89 million from Hanneman, who owned both properties at the time, according to Wood County auditors. Hanneman said he placed a bid on the property before he realized it was determined what would come out of the space in order to expand his company's parking lot, but soon realized the cost would be too expensive to renovate something like the Armory. Well, here's a month later, where they're started demolition and they're well on their way to progress. Hanneman realized the building would be too hard for them to use, and the new location for CVS met the criteria of what they wanted to do. Of course, the building was already in very bad shape. They said that for the CVS, it would bring a lot of great customer base to the university, and the owner of CVS says, "We look forward to serving the retail pharmacy needs, the Bowling Green community. And now today, in February of 2015, here's what remains of the once large and historic Ohio National Guard Armory. Changes. What can you say? Thanks for watching. I think it's things like this that really show you time passing. You know, I didn't document the complete construction every single day, but it really is just unbelievable when you see something like this, you know, how some things change so fast after being there for so long, and other things continue to remain the same every day, even though we may wish they would change. It's crazy.